Hello everyone, my name is Sultan, and today I'll be presenting on POP3S, which I'll call it that because it's easier to say, and SMTPS. This presentation will have the research I've done and any hardening recommendations for your servers. So we're gonna hop right into what POP3 is specifically, because there's a difference between POP3 and POP3S. So POP3, it stands for Post Office Protocol version 3. It is a protocol used by email clients to retrieve emails from a mail server. So example would be like if you open an email client like Outlook or Thunderbird to download your messages on your laptop, POP3 may be the protocol being used. So traditionally, POP3 downloads messages from the server to the user's local device. In many cases, it also deletes the messages from the server after downloading them. This means emails are stored locally rather than remaining synchronized across multiple devices. And POP3 usually operates on port 110 and does not use encryption by default. This means that usernames, passwords, and message content can be transmitted in plain text across the network. So if someone were to have the same public Wi-Fi network, they could potentially capture that traffic. Now with POP3S, the S in POP3S means secure, and it uses SSL or TSL encryption to protect communication between the email client. Oh, whoops, went a little head there. Between the email client and the mail servant. Instead of using port 110, it uses port 995. And with encryption enabled, login credentials and email data are encrypted before being transmitted. For example, even if someone captures the network traffic, all they would see is unreadable encrypted data rather than your actual password or email content. And from a security standpoint, POP3S is a lot more safer than your traditional POP3 because it protects both authentication data and email content. So this is supposed to be the next slide. I accidentally pressed it earlier. What is SMPT? And there's two versions. There's this one, the other we're about to get into. So SMPT stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And unlike POP3, which retrieves emails, the SMPT is responsible for sending emails. So when you hit send on your email, SMPT is what transfers the message from your device to the mail server and then possibly to another organization's server. SMPT traditionally runs on port 25. However, like POP3, the original one, it does not encrypt data by default. This means messages sent over with basic SMPT could potentially be intercepted while traveling between servers, because SMPT plays a major role in email delivery. Securing it is very important to protect communication integrity. So now we're going into SMPTS, which is essentially the secure version. That's what the little S is at the end. And it encrypts outgoing email transmissions using SSL or TSL. SMP, and it commonly operates on port 465. Encryption ensures that login credentials, message content, and attachments are protected during transmission. Like if a company sends a contract or sensitive data via email, this secure version helps prevent attackers from intercepting that file. So without a SMPTS or a secure SMPT configuration, attackers could capture email traffic or perform man-in-the-middle attacks to alter communications without detection. So how encryption works. Both POP3S and SMTPS, that's a mouthful to say, rely on SSL or TSL encryption. When a client connects to a mail server using a secure protocol, a handshake process begins, And during this handshake, the server presents a digital certificate to verify its identity. The client verifies that certificate using trusted certificate authorities. So, for example, this be similar to when you see the lock icon on your web browser when visiting an HTTPS website. That lock indicates an encrypted connection. Once verified, an encrypted tunnel is established between the client and the server. Any data transmitted through this tunnel is encrypted and unreadable to outside observers. Even if someone intercepts the traffic, they will not be able to interpret to the contents without the proper encryption keys. So on next, now the security risks without encryption. So without encryption, email communication is extremely vulnerable and can be attacked incredibly easy. So first, attackers can perform packet sniffing on unsecure networks and capture usernames and passwords in plain text. For example, someone using tools like Wireshark on a public network could monitor unencrypted traffic. So second, with man-in-the-middle attacks allow attackers to intercept and potentially modify email communications without either party realizing it. Third, credential theft can lead to unauthorized access to entire email accounts. So essentially, once an attacker gains that access, they can reset passwords for other services to that email. And because of these risks, relying on these insecure ports like ports 110 or 25 without any encryption is not recommended for any modern environment. So, how do we fix that? We have server hardening recommendations. And upon my research, there are several important hardening recommendations for securing mail servers. So first, you can disable insecure ports such as 110 mentioned earlier for POP3 and 25 for SMPT, not the non-secure version. Whenever you can. Instead, enforce secure ports, and I would rely on more on POP3S for port 995 and SMPTS, the secure version, and use port 465. Second, the requirement is also a TLS version of 1.2 or higher. Because older versions, because it's more secure with the newer versions. Older versions like SSL 3.0 and TSL 1.0 have a lot of known vulnerabilities and should not be allowed. And the third would be use strong, trusted SSL certificates issued by reputable certificate authorities. It's like organizations that often use it from providers like DigiCert or Let's Encrypt. And fourth, enforce strong authentication policies. And this includes enabling SMPT authentication, requiring advanced passwords, and implementing rate limiting to prevent brute force login attempts. These measures significantly reduce the attack surface of the mail server. And other practices that you can also do beyond basic encryption. Using Start TLS is recommended if it is supported. And it also upgrades an existing connection to secure an encrypted session. Firewall rules should restrict access to only necessary ports and trusted IP ranges. For example, administrators may block external access to internal mail relay services. Logging and monitoring should be enabled to detect suspicious login attempts, unusual traffic patterns, or repeated authentication failures. Finally, mail servers must be regularly patched and updated. Many real-world data breaches occur because organizations fail to update systems with known vulnerabilities. And combining encryption with a strong server hardening creates a much more secure email environment. So ending this off, pop. Oh, that's a little spoiler. You're not supposed to see that yet. So finishing up, POP3S and SMTPS are obviously secure versions of the other two mentioned earlier, and are used to receive and send email. So upon my research, that simply enabling secure protocols may not be enough. With proper server hardening, including disabling insecure ports, enforcing modern TSL versions, or applying any firewall controls, and maintaining system updates are essential. Like even when encryption is enabled, weak passwords or outdated software can still allow attackers to gain access. Email security is critical in today's cybersecurity landscape. So implementing POP3S and SMTPS correctly, along with strong configuration policies, can significantly reduce any risk and protect any sensitive communication. So with that, thank you for watching. I wish I didn't spoil it with this, but it's a little funny. But thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.